posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus.
Hey, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Grown Dating Talk this evening. I'm your host, Alana V. And before I jump into the episode topic this evening and talk about the special treat that we have, because we have a special guest on the show tonight, I want to say that I hope all of you guys have been making good dating choices over this whole COVID pandemic, because I'm hearing some people talk about, well, I took a test and he took a test and it was negative, so we went out on a date and things were great. And then I'm hearing that there's some girls and guys out there that are dating people and not taking tests at all. Like, you guys are running down willy-nilly, talking to Sam, John, Samantha, and whomever, and then taking this whole village and putting the whole village at risk. Let's not do that. Tonight's topic is going to be, is it possible to build a business and build love at the same time, especially in this COVID pandemic? Because let's face it, entrepreneurs, come on, we need love too. What the hell, man? So, but before we jump into the episode topic tonight, I have a special treat for you guys, okay? We are excited to have on panel today one of America's soon-to-be top moguls in the cereal industry. This young brother has completely changed the game, opening doors for little girls and boys to now enjoy a Black-owned cereal brand. Nick King is a single father from Connecticut, whom is the owner and founder of Proud Puff Cereal. Now, for those of you whom are not familiar with this catalyst, okay, his cereal brand, Proud Puff, is chocolate flavored and formed in the shape of a fist. I'm talking Black pride in every bite, ladies and gents. I want to welcome to the show tonight the owner and founder of Proud Puff Cereal, Nick King. Thank you so much for being on the show, brother. How are you doing this evening?
I'm amazing. Thank you for having me. Definitely probably one of the best intros that I've gotten ever. I was like, keep going. This is great. This is perfect. I'm gonna hire you professionally to introduce me and everything. It worked out well.
I'm just honored. I'm honored to have you on the show tonight, King. Right. You know, it's a wonderful thing to introduce a Black mogul to the girls and boys, because too often they're looking at other cultures come up and create and represent and create generational wealth, create cultural wealth, and they're here trying to emulate and follow in the steps of individuals whom they don't look like and whom they can't identify with. So right. It's always a pleasure when we have a brother coming up, and especially breaking into the cereal brand game. That right there is good. So what made you decide to jump into the cereal industry?
So easiest way that I could say it is divine inspiration. I'm gonna call it that. You know, imagine just being asleep and someone whispered something in your ear and you kind of woke up and you were like, what? You know what I mean? Like whatever it was that was whispered was on your mind. That is the best explanation of how the idea kind of came to me. You know, I took that idea at 3 a.m. one morning. Summer of 2020, a little bit after, unfortunately, George Floyd was murdered. So, we had protests, we had riots, there was a lot going on. The world was emotionally charged. And I'm just kind of laying in my bed after this dream or the whisper or whatever you want to call it. And I'm scrolling social media, as probably what most of us do when we wake up randomly in the morning. And I just happened to Google Black-owned cereal company, and I found nothing. And for me, just being in the creative space and being in the entrepreneurial space, I said, "Ooh, I think I might have something special here." And eight months later, give or take, here we are.
I think that is really, really astounding, especially to have a Black man in the cereal industry. Like you said, divine inspiration there. When God has something intended for you, He will pull you towards your destiny. All you have to do is take the necessary steps here in the 3D to make that 5D message come to life. Some people don't get it, but I get it, brother. I get it. How did you come up with the name, though, Proud Puff? Because that right there is inspirational. Like, you think of Powerpuff Girls, the little girl with the Powerpuff. When my daughter was 19, well, she's 19 now. When she was a little girl, I used to have her wear her little puffs and her Afro puffs. So
Yeah.
how did you come up with that name?
Same theme, same morning, after I Googled black owned cereal company, I found nothing. I was like, you know what, I'm going downstairs. Just, I don't know why, but I love drinks of orange juice at 3 a.m. It's just something that's, it's something when orange taste hit your palate. It's a great moment. It's an experience. But I've been reading a lot about, praying God-sized prayers, asking God bold questions. So I kind of said to myself, I was like, all right, clearly this isn't my idea, because I have absolutely no idea where the cereal it's never been a dream, it's never been an inspiration. Like, this is what I want to do. So I said, all right, this was your idea, clearly, that you gave to me. I was like, all right, so before I leave the kitchen, this kind of goes into the bold questions. I was like, before I leave the kitchen, I need you to give me a name. And I'm literally just leaning, drinking my orange juice. I won't say the brand because we're not getting a check. And out of nowhere, Proud pops in my head, and I'm like, whoa. And just kind of being an entrepreneur spirit, I'm like, proud. I'm trying to put together, I'm like, Proud Flakes. That sounds corny, you know what I mean? And then eventually I was like, Proud Puffs, and I was like, ooh, game over. That's it. I give him 100% credit. You know what I mean? I like to say, God's my coach. I'm just executing the plays. So my coach he's been in full effect, these last 8 or 9 months. And I'm just out here just executing the doors he opened up for me.
That is a blessing, because some people say that when it comes to this pandemic like COVID, some people are going to come out broke and some people are going to come out pregnant. And you are definitely coming out pregnant, because you are birthing a business, young man. And I am like, I'm proud of you. Every Black mama and father out there is proud of you. Like, shoot, go, Nick King. I'm telling you. I can't wait to buy these cereal boxes. I'm not going to lie. You know how they have the kids in the school selling the candy bars and the Girl Scout cookies and stuff? Well, guess what? I'm going to take these to my job and sell them to my day job. I'm going to sell them to his parents and the teachers. Like, I don't care. I'll give it away for free if you can't sell it, because it's an issue, but whatever. Because everybody needs to be tasting this chocolate flavored Black Pride cereal. Oh my God. I want to know, like, how do you market your cereal, and what tactics have you found to be the most successful so far?
I think the best thing is when you have like an organic story, you don't have to really add much to it, So anytime I'm on it, doing any press or doing any interviews, or whether my first few stints of like pitching it to investors and things like that, when I thought that was the avenue that I wanted to go at the time, like they're like, what's your pitch? And I'm like, I don't have a pitch. I'm going to tell you what my story is. You know what I mean? Like, I'll find a way to, I found a way to cut it down from, 5-6 minutes to a minute, but it's organic, right? It's organically my story at the end of the day. So, just realizing why I'm doing it, which is for my family, which is the main reason, giving 100% credit to God, me just taking my brand and not wanting to water it down, and the cultural impact that I want to have, but also making it healthy. If you add those 4 elements, that's the pitch, or that's the market technically, but at the end of the day, that's my story. Outside of that, I'm really just, giving it to the people, telling everybody what it is, or when I do, great interviews like this, I'm just telling my story, and, those who I attract, I will attract.
Mm-hmm. I love that, because see, one of the great things is, like, when you are a man of God and you walk in faith and not by sight, then everything opens up. God opens those roads. Success 100%. Just comes to you, and it's natural. What you're doing is you're enjoying the journey. And when you enjoy the process, that's what makes it all the more beautiful. Oftentimes when people are entrepreneurs and they're starting out, they want to see the end results very quickly, and they stress themselves out and have a miserable time during the process.
Right.
And it's like when they get to the end result and look back, they wish they would have taken the time to enjoy that journey,
I agree, 100%.
I love the way that you have that down. One other thing I want to ask you is, without disclosing any secrets, because that's one of the things I'm big on about intellectual prowess and, keeping things confidential and under wraps and stuff. Can you let us know if you plan to generate any new ideas beyond Proud Puff? Like, is the Proud Puff theme going to become a cartoon so that little girls and boys, while they're eating their cereal, they can sit over there and, you know, see these graphic characters in action in front of them? Is it going to become like coloring books, or, you know?
I think you hacked my email. I'm a little nervous. I feel like you're into my corporate email. I'm definitely into, you know, I've built a career prior to this in branding. I'm definitely really big on branding. Proud Puffs is definitely bigger than cereal. Yes. So yes, and yes.
Okay.
You know, I want to create more. I want to create more content, you know, especially around the space of representation matters, you know, which is another big, you know, big part of my mission statement. So our company mission statement is to be the brand where nutrition and representation matters. Two really big key elements in, you know, not even just saying in the CPG space, but, you know what I mean? When delivering a product, you want to make sure, one, it's healthy, especially giving it to our community, but as well as showing the world that representation does matter. So I do have some really amazing content pieces, some really cool, you know, workbooks and things for the kids. So yes, I'll stop there without giving out too much.
I love that. I love that, because I just think that's cool. I'm like, I sat down, and being a person who's entrepreneurial myself, you know, I don't just do the podcast. I have other projects that I have my hands on too. So
Okay.
when I think of branding, you know, my head goes very, very far. I can like conceptualize so many different things at once. So when I heard about the Proud Puff cereal, I was like, wow, he can really take this thing far, because it could be this and it could be that and it could be, oh my God, he can do that too. So then when I got the opportunity to have you on the show, I was like, what? I definitely am going to ask him about this, because my whole intellectual mind, I'm an Aquarian woman. So we're like free thinkers, and we're always going and doing it on the go, but always creating and being artistic. So,
got it. You're spot on. So your creativity is very sharp, because you definitely hit on a lot of points. That's why I had to stop you. I was like, oh, she's going too far. She knows too much.
You're like giving away too many secrets. What the hell?
You know too much. Stop there. But yes.
Like, come on, Alana, cut it out.
100%.
Oh my God, next thing you know, you'll be sending me an electronic non-disclosure agreement, like, in order to continue this interview.
Yes, you can't say anymore, please. I should have read the script beforehand.
I got you, King. So okay. Another question that I have for you is, what motivates you as an up-and-coming entrepreneur? Like, what mark do you wish to leave in the lives of others and in the cereal industry as one of the first Black men to break ground?
Man, so many pieces. So, I mean, just tying into the first part, which is the main reason, is the legacy part. You know, something to leave my son, something to leave my family, my sisters, my nieces, and my nephews. That's going to be huge. You know, I've already had investors ask me like, hey, so we can kind of ramp up your company, get you in the right position so you can exit basically being so you can sell the company. And I'm like, I just literally launched my company a month ago. I appreciate it, but let me enjoy the process. Let me build. So, you know, building something so they can have, you know, so I can kind of wipe out their college debt. You know, that's one of the dreams. You know, I mean, both my sisters are in college right now. I got a baby sister that'll eventually be there as well. And, you know, I kind of want to wipe that out. You know what I mean? Like, listen, all right, school's done. Here you go. Take that. Now go do whatever it is that you want to do. Go live. You know, that's going to be huge. But outside of that, you know, culturally, you know, the cultural impact, you know, for kids to see, you know, that you can do more, you know, growing up, you know, we knew what, you know, playing sports or music, you know, that's the majority of what we knew, you know. This is kind of getting back to our roots. Like, listen, we come from some of the greatest inventions, you know what I mean? We do, you know what I'm saying? We have inventors a part of our lineage, and, you know, we got to tap back into that. The world wouldn't operate without a majority of the stuff that we created. It would be boring on top of that. So, you know, kind of, you know, bringing that message back up, like, listen, let's get back to what we really do is a big part of what motivates me to get up every day and do multiple interviews all day.
I think that is awesome. I think that's awesome. What especially touches my heart too is when you talk about, you know, putting them through college, because that right there is important. High level education is really important. And the thing is, one of the things that I teach my children in my entrepreneurial journeys, because they've been with me in businesses when I was handing out flyers, and we're driving to put flyers in the mailboxes to generate business on the educational business. You know, when it comes to the podcast, before I ended up in the studio, my kids were my set, you know, like, like, I need you to throw some stuff over here. Come on,
Teamwork.
we got this, guys.
Yep.
They're like the cameramen helping out and stuff, 2.0 before you get things together. But one of the greatest things about being able to put them through college and help them with that is you eliminate that startup debt for them. So we put them at a higher plane than where we started out with in life, you know? Definitely. And I think one of the things that the youth don't recognize at that time when you're wanting to wipe out the debt for them, right, is now they can go out and they can choose whether they want to become entrepreneurs themselves or if they want to sacrifice money for time. Do you want to go and work for somebody else and build their dream and in the process take that money and use it to build your dream and fund your dream financially? Or do you want to identify a need that the community has that's in line with a skill or talent that you have that you're really great at, and then set that up in such a way where it's advantageous for you, where you can then produce this money and then you're flipping the money that I'm sitting over here building for you. So you're giving back.
I'll add a third variable. Or do you want to just go experience life? You know what I mean? Go hang out on a beach, go to another country, you know what I mean? Hang out in Paris for a year or two, you know what I mean? Learn a language. Like that's huge. We don't get a chance to do that. You know, a lot of people leave college and they got $70,000 to $150,000 worth of debt that they're trying to get, from under. So they jump into a 9-to-5. Now that's taking time. They don't get a chance outside of, some paid time off every once in a while. So I want to give them the opportunity to say, or go do nothing. Take a couple of years. You're in your early 20s. Go do nothing, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like don't chase this. I did it. I did it so you don't have to do it, and that's the space I'm in.
I love that. And I think that more adults need to take on that approach when it comes to children, giving them that time to really go out and just live life some and have experiences. Because too often when you rush them to get on that hamster wheel and that working 5 days a week, working 40 to 60 hours just to have 48 hours off, that just doesn't sit right for me. Working 40 to 60 hours for somebody else. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what a lot of people are doing, working 40 to 60 hours for someone else just to have 48 hours off for yourself. And then you have to practically beg, sometimes lie, and convince someone else to give you vacation time. When you could be putting in some degree 80 hours a week for yourself, but knowing that it's a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. Because I'd rather put in 80 hours a week for myself and do that for 6 months time, 2 years time, hell, even 3 years time. If for the next 60 to 80 to 90 years, I can sit back and relax, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with short-term sacrifices for long-term gains.
You love that?
Think that's, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you get it 100%. That's exactly the space that we should be in. So I agree with you 1,000%.
I want to ask you, what is your greatest fear as an entrepreneur? And how do you manage that fear along with this journey?
I'm really weird with the fear question. And I don't say it in this space of I'm not afraid of anything, but I'm not, because I think the biggest thing is if you fail, so what? You know what I mean? Like, I've just kind of always been in that space. It's just like, okay, you fail, so what? You kind of revamp it, look at it, assess it, and go, okay, well, why did I fail? And what can I learn from? And what can I do better the next time around? So I don't really have a fear in that space. Like, it's just, it just what it is. One, I like to do the law of attraction, you know what I mean? So I like to speak positivity into the universe anyway, but just realistically, I'm just in a space to where I'm like, who cares? If I fail, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to figure it out. Like, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to be able to assess it and go, it was there. Cool. Next one, it's going to be crazy.
I love that. And I'm happy that you said that, because our young men of color need to hear a brother, an older male, who still is a young man looking good himself, might I add, of color, putting that out there, because let's be honest, too often they're encountering things that are making them fear for themselves out there, things that are happening in life to them that are making them doubt themselves. So at the end of the day, we all need to see individuals and have role models to look up to who say that, fear is nothing to run away from. Fear is something to be faced. It is a lesson to be learned. It gives you experience. Let's look at Michael Jordan and Mamba, when they started out in basketball, they weren't good. They were not good at first. And it took a lot of strength and determination to get to be such a powerful and successful athlete. You really have to put in, you have to face your fears, and you have to go head in. Do not shy away from your calling. And when becoming an entrepreneur, for those of you who are on your journey or deciding to start your journey, let us tell you, it's not easy. Everything doesn't come, it's not going to come, opportunities are not going to come knocking on your door. You have to go out and put yourself out there in order to find them. You also have to want to chase these opportunities. You need to follow up with these opportunities, and you need to face your fears, because that's one of the things about being successful in business. You got to face your fears. Anything can happen at any point in time. And who you have to fall back on? Your damn self. That's who, your damn self. That's who you get an investor. And even when you have an investor, the investor's still going to look at you sometimes like, what in the holy, how did we end up here? Like, sir, you are the refined professional and stuff. I'm just expertise with this idea. So
100%. And you're 100% right. At the end of the day, you just you have to bet on yourself. I didn't, coming into this, especially even, leaving my corporate job that I had for 12 years, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody at all, outside of people that worked at my company who would obviously know I left. I didn't tell any of my friends. I didn't tell any of my family. When I started the company, no one knew. No one knew that I was launching this company until the day that I was launching this company. And I did that on purpose because I didn't want anyone else's energy on it. No one would have understood, like, wait, you left your job? You know what I mean? Like, you've been there forever? And you want to start what? Like, no one would have understood that. And instead of going into that space and having to take other people's worries and projected fears, I was just like, you know what? God gave me an amazing idea. I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm going to bet on myself. And when I'm done and I'm ready to announce it, then I will let the world know. And I would say working in silence has definitely been the best thing that I've ever done this far.
Working in silence is a good thing because it keeps people from stealing your ideas and trying to imitate you. You know what I mean? We've 100%. Seen too much of that in the music industry and other industries and stuff. People will steal your ideas and steal your ish and then act like they invented it. You're like, wait a minute.
I knew that. It looks familiar. No, I agree with that 100%. But, you sometimes you have to protect your peace, and it is better to kind of, keep your head low and just work on your craft, perfect your craft, research, do what you got to do, and then present it to the world. Because I didn't really need anyone else's opinion. Sometimes I get excited and I do want to tell the world. When I came up with the idea, I was like, ooh, I just want to tell everybody. That's just our natural habit. Like, I want to share with my friends, my family, let everybody know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, why? Or what are they going to add to it? You know what I mean? Like, what? If they're going to give me money, then maybe this kind of makes sense. But outside of that, if I'm just getting opinions, then I'll pass. It's not necessarily needed.
Then you want to hold on to it. And I can understand because as you mentioned earlier on when we started talking about this topic, you mentioned that you didn't want anybody putting any doubts in there and throwing any dirt on it. I mean, think about when Noah started building that ark. People looked at him like he was crazy and it rained, but he built that ark anyway. And then when that storm came, him and the animals were able to get out while the people were drowning. So I'm not even mad at you. You got to keep things silent and move in silence sometimes in order to get that success, So another thing that I want to ask you is, how did you raise funding for your venture? Like, did you go out and go to schools and say, hey, I'm marketing the cereal and this is a brand that I made?
I wish.
Start with family and friends?
I wish it was that easy. So honestly, a lot of it, came from my own personal funds. Leaving my corporate job.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Bootstrapping is definitely, a big element of the beginning space. Right now, actually, so as I mentioned, my original first thought, and I think that's a lot of people's business thought, like build the company, build traction, bring it to investors, right? That's the first thought, like give me some money. Of course, so easy. It sounds logical. But then when I started to find out is, during my first investor meeting, it was like, great. So I have this 6-figure check in front of, this is for you, Nick. You can have this. However, this is what I want you to change. Maybe get rid of the fists. Maybe take the family off the front. We can get a kid from Nickelodeon. You can put him on the box. This is a real thing.
Oh, hell no. Go ahead. I'm listening.
That's what I said in my head, right? But I'm in a professional setting, so we
got to keep it professional for the old ones. I got you. We got it.
But so it's funny how they start with the check first, because that's the carrot, right? They dangle the carrot. Here's the check. And after he finally got his last breath of what he was saying, I respectfully had to decline, because I was like, that's taking away the creativity and the message, and the intent of why I did this in the first place.
Yeah.
So just kind of circling back, it was just one of those things where I was just like, you know what? Instead of going the investor route, I want to put my product in the hands of the community, those who I'm going to serve anywhere, those who I'm building for, those who, those who why I intently do this for. So February 1st, first day of Black History Month, I'll be crowdfunding, which is basically in the space of raising capital. So I'm going to be tying that into our pre-orders, because it's a rewards-based crowdfunding. So those who are interested in supporting and pre-ordering, you can go to fund, F-U-N-D, blackfounders.com. I'll have links all over my page, of course. And you can support. So I'm putting my product, basically, in short, in the hands of the community. I'm giving it to the people and letting the people do what they do.
Well, we definitely are going to put that link in the description below, so that you guys can click on that and order, because I know one thing, I definitely am, because I want those boxes in my kitchen. I want them in my friends' kitchens. And I want to ask, is the cereal vegan friendly too? Is it like vegan?
It is. Yes. So it is definitely plant-based. That was very important. I wanted to check all boxes. I didn't want, most importantly, creating a product. One, I've been eating healthy. I've been on a healthier journey. So while making the product, I was like, well, I want to eat something that I would put in my body. But second, like, I want to put healthy stuff in the baby's bodies. Like, this just makes sense. Like, I know, granted, it's chocolate cereal, so it's for all communities, but, I did this particularly to uplift my community. So if I'm going to put this cereal in my communities, I want to make sure it's a healthier option. So it's not like all the way left, like your health cereal, but it's definitely a healthier option. We definitely used natural sweeteners and things like that. So, we make sure we put the right stuff, back into our bodies is super important, and, being conscious of that.
I like that, because then I can put like a little bowl of Proud Puffs out when my vegan friends come over to hang. We could do Proud Puffs and wine, Proud Puffs and cheese.
I don't know about Proud Puffs and cheese. That's different. That's a wild combination, but it does go really good with almond milk. So anybody that does love almond milk, vanilla almond milk, and Proud Puffs is an amazing combination.
Let me tell you, I will shoot YouTube. What are those IG live videos eating Proud Puffs with yogurt? Don't play with me. I'll put it in Chobani. Like, here we go.
That might actually work. I can give you that one. Proud Puffs. Proud Puffs and yogurt.
Proud Puffs and cocoa, hot chocolate. Like,
a universal product, and who knows where we might venture out into after. Cereal space is just the beginning.
That's right. Don't sleep on our sisters in the kitchen, because we can get really inventive. Have Proud Puff cheesecake. You don't know. We can mix it in there.
Cheesecake crumbles. You never know.
You never know.
I like the way your mind thinks. Definitely in the creative space, because that's the idea. You want to carve out a lane that's comfortable for yourself, but you also want to create additional opportunities. So I'm with that.
Exactly. Getting creative. Another question I have for you really quickly as well. This is kind of like getting a little personal there, though. Yeah. So if it's too personal, it's okay. Just say, hey, come on, Alana. How has being an entrepreneur, right?
Yep.
How has that impacted your relationship and family and stuff? Like, does Nick King have a wife? Does Nick King have a girlfriend? Is he booed up, building business, trying to find love? What's going on?
Oh, man. It's horrible, Alana. It's one of those things. It's one of those things too, where finding that balance is, especially as an entrepreneur, it's never easy. I don't want to generalize women, but women do acquire a lot of attention. I'll say that. And the idea of an entrepreneurial man, is usually great. Women come into it going, wow, I love what you're doing. This is amazing. You know what I mean? Like you motivate me, you inspire me. It's sexy. Go ahead. Hardworking man. And then that's on Friday, and then Saturday it's you neglect me. You're never around. I never see you.
You won't answer the phone. Oh my God.
Right.
What do you mean you're busy? You don't have 2.5 seconds to send a message? Like, no, damn it.
Story of my life. So that's definitely the second part, but it's one of those things. I do also want to be fair, because I do know, if it came down to it and I had a business meeting or I had a movie date, I'm taking the business meeting. And it sounds bad.
No, it doesn't. It really is not. I'm with you here. I'm with you, because I'm chasing the bag too. Okay.
Listen,
we can hug and kiss later. We need this.
Yeah. This is gonna put us in a better situation. And at the end of the day, respectfully, I'm doing it for my family. So I gotta pick, but what, when it's time, just like this, God is gonna whisper in my ear. He may tell me a name. I don't know. He's gonna align the stars and things will happen. But outside of that, it's a journey, and I've gotten better. I've gotten better, but I do understand that women, and respectfully, they do. You guys deserve it, but women do require a lot of attention and time, and I'm literally starting a brand from scratch, and the stars, it just doesn't connect at this point.
Well, let me say this. Even though women do like a lot of attention, they need to stop it. Sometimes they need to stop it. See, I'm a devil's advocate. I'll call the genders out. I'll even call the female gender out. I don't give a damn. They'll be below the comments like, Alana, how dare you? Don't act like you haven't never. Yeah, I've been there before, but I grew up and I'm an entrepreneur now. So when you're busy 6 days a week, you maybe have that 7-day free, maybe not, because you have kids. You got to spend time with them. If mama has to run some places, you got to run her places too. You got to make time for everybody. Let's just be frank. Or that may be the day where I need to sleep, or I just need to be alone in quietness, away from everybody, talking to nobody. You ring my phone, I'm staring at that damn thing, but I'm not answering it because I'm like, is this fool out there damn mine?
Right.
Like, I saw you call me 24 times before, uncle, whomever, or a friend, whatever, but I'm not ready to talk right now. Like, I'm busy. You talked out from the week. Your meeting's out. You need that time to check out and recharge, 100%. The last thing you want is someone in your ear complaining to you about what you're not doing for them. And I think that is something that's really important that women and men need to think about, because everybody wants they want a business owner, they want an entrepreneur, they want a self-employed partner. Hell, a lot of them walk around saying they're entrepreneurs themselves and self-employed. It's like, no. We ain't even gonna go there. I'm not gonna make comments, because last time I made comments, people were all on the damn Facebook talking about, oh, you don't know, you think you, okay, whatever. But it's a journey, because, and it's definitely an experience. It's not an experience how one would look at those Cinderella fairy tales. When you're dating an entrepreneur, as Nick King said, they're your highs and lows. One day we may come home and we're very, very happy and we're on top of the world and it's cloud 9. Day 2, I might not have hit my sale mark. So maybe I didn't make the money that I intended to make that day, or maybe the business expense hit my account and my check-in might be in a negative, because damn it, I'm funding this. This is bootstrapping right now. So now I got to decide between if I want to take your fine behind out for dinner tonight, or if I'm going to pay for this expense for my business. And of course, I'm going to pay for this expense for my business. As a woman entrepreneur, there have been plenty of times where I've had to cancel dates on guys. Hell, I've canceled on the last minute. Like, you know what? I'm sorry. I know we had a plan, but I really don't feel like going out tonight. And they're like, are you freaking serious? I had one man say to me, do you know who I am? I'm famous. Do you know who I am? And I said to him, I was like, no, I don't know who you are. We're dating and I'm trying to get to know you, but I need you to understand who I am. I'm a mom. I have my hands in a lot of projects. And tonight I'm tired. When we made these plans, I had energy. But right now, when it's time to deliver on these plans, I don't have any energy. So if you're famous, then you should understand this, because you have time. I'm over here trying to build generational wealth so I can enjoy the time you have. And I don't want to enjoy it on your dime. I want to build it myself. I want my own money, you know?
Right.
So
100%. Yeah. It's not easy. And I guess similar to what you said, you kind of hit everything on the head. It's not an easy thing. And I don't go into it as saying like, oh, you just got to work with me. It's not easy. And I get it. Like you said, highs and lows. Some days I'll be happier. I'm an introvert naturally, so that doesn't help either because I enjoy being alone. I enjoy being in my own little space. I'm usually in this little corner in my space, 24/7, building and working out and growing the business. So it's not an easy thing. And, I respect that, it's not for everybody. It's just one of those things, if you want to be with someone that is an entrepreneur, you got to understand that you got to not even say you have to understand, you guys have to communicate effectively and, communicate your feelings and let everybody know exactly where you are at whatever point of what you're feeling and try to find a way to build that out. So I agree with you 100% though.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick King, founder of Legacy Cereal Company and Proud Puff Cereal. Hopefully by now you're part of the Proud Puff family, but if you're not, all you gotta do is go to proudpuffcereal.com, click that pre-order link and grab yourself a box of Proud Puffs. Proud Puffs is a chocolate, vegan, plant-based cereal. Definitely one of the most exciting cereal products of 2021. But what are you still doing here? Go to proudpuffcereal.com and join the family. Stay tuned.
Well, you know what, ladies? I'm going to put it out there for him. Even though he wants to say you don't have to understand, you got to communicate. You do have to communicate. You need to communicate. Your behind also need to comprehend. Don't just hear what you want when he's talking and piece out what you want so you can win that argument. Hear what's being said, and you do have to understand. Because at the end of the day, if you want somebody to understand that you've been through things in life and have patience with you, because you may still be healing in something, or understand that you're trying to build up for your dream to finish school and get your degree and whatever have you, you have these things that you want men to understand about you, then you need to be understanding as well about him and his journey. And the same thing for fellas. If you decide you're going to get with an entrepreneur or a business owner, you need to be ready for the ups and downs, the highs and the lows, and you really need to be able to stand in there as a partnership. It's a different type of partnership than a relationship when we're both working for somebody else. When we're working for ourselves, we are the boss. We are our clients. We are the damn production team. And if you decide to get with an entrepreneur, when I say this, I don't mean this in a harsh way. And those of you who may take it harshly, you're going to have to phone up one of the therapists that we're going to have on other panels and stuff, and they can help you with this. But sweetheart, sir, life doesn't revolve around you. So if you're going to date an entrepreneur, understand that there are times where you're going to see them and times when you're not. That doesn't mean that they love you any less and they're not interested in you. They're building generational wealth, And when it comes time to being understanding on this journey, sometimes you're going to be the assistant. Sometimes you're going to be the production team. Hell, sometimes you may be the motherfucking secretary. Sometimes you might be the damn chauffeur. Sometimes you might have to run to Brooklyn and get that damn cheesecake and walk it back to wherever. I don't give a damn. Walk it how you talk it. You want to be with an entrepreneur, be ready to walk the walk, because we ain't talking the talk for no reason. We walking it. So you better be ready to walk it next to us, climb it with us, because at the end of the day, you want to enjoy the end result too, right? So if you want to enjoy the end result, be ready to take this short-term sacrifice with us on this journey for that long-term gain. Don't be sitting there trying to come in for the end run and you weren't with us when we were shooting in the gym.
Alana said it. I didn't have to say it. Alana said it. So, ladies, it is. I said nothing. I gave my piece. I'm
saying this. The one thing about me, I like to keep it real. I'll hit nails on the head, drive those points home, because we don't have no time for faking jacks, Because at the end of the day, so much of our business is our life as entrepreneurs, And we tend to approach relationships sometimes as business transactions too, however. And I think that's why sometimes dating and relationship experiences can be difficult for us. Because as entrepreneurs, you have to have a knack to turn off your emotions and turn on your logic. Because it's a different type of tiger. It's a different type of wolf in that game. And in relationships involve a lot of times more emotions than logic. So do you find that you're having those same experiences over there? Or do you find that it's easier?
I mean, I'm an Aries. I don't know if anybody's, follows signs.
Hey, okay. We got
we,
Aries in the house.
we're a different breed of people. No, I'm definitely way more logical. I'm logical in everything. Sometimes I do have to learn to turn my logic off. I have during COVID, as well, during while we were in lockdown and quarantine and all that stuff, I did a lot of self-reflecting and I found out a lot of things about myself. Man, I uncovered some childhood traumas and, things I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
thought I got rid of that. I didn't know that was in there, but when you got nothing but time to really sit there and reflect, you're like, all right, well, I can see
Iron
why.
it out.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see why certain things happen, so I've definitely been in a better space of communicating and definitely trying not to minimize feelings, because we'll be like, I'm tired. I just want to, I know today's my free day, but I just want to sleep for a couple hours. Then I can hang out with you for a couple hours. And then when you get there, but you want to minimize it and go, no, but you're not understanding. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hear that you feel that way, but we want to do that so quickly. And I learned to, no longer minimize feelings. But listen, I understand that you do feel that way. You know what I mean? And you're allowed to feel that way. And I understand that, however, on the other side, I am exhausted. And in order to give you the best version of me, I need to be a little bit more coherent. So I need a nap. Let me get a nap in. So I agree with you on that one. It's definitely a journey, and being able to communicate effectively and sometimes turn on and turn off logic and really just kind of be a human, lead with emotion and lead with love is necessary. We don't have to be the business shark, 24/7, even though it's always going to be in us. Sometimes we got to turn it off.
I love that. And I love one of the things that you talked about with communication being important, because there's nothing more that a mature woman finds as a turn on than another mature man who can effectively communicate. Because you know what I mean when I say this. It's the worst thing when you're trying to explain to someone why you need to choose yourself over them in a situation. And excuse me, but it's not in a way to be selfish. You're really being selfless in that moment. You're saying, look, I need to recharge because me at 100% is a benefit for you. Me at 100% is 3,000 times the experience that you're going to have at me at 2% right now. So I need to choose me in order to choose you. And people who, people who don't understand that, quite frankly, they're not worth your time, brother. They're not worth your time. The women that sit there and expect you to put them before you already showing me who you are before the money even comes in.
100%. It's one of those things, you will find what's for you. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. With all being in this journey, we know, we all have a goal, we have an end game in mind, and relationships will come. That's just kind of the way it is. You'll meet who you meet. So I'm not stressing it either way.
Yeah, definitely don't stress it. Don't stress it, because I feel like sometimes when we stress it and force it, that's when we end up with the added baggage. The people whom you were not supposed to be with, or I shouldn't say that you were not supposed to be with. You end up with people whom teach you a lot of lessons, and they trigger certain things within you that you realize that, wow,